sending as many founders to the spring conference in Silicon Valley as possible. And so it's a really fantastic opportunity to really get in front of VCs, to get seen, to really be in the space of advancing your startup. So that's an exciting part of our personal mission here for the Rochester chapter. So what being part of the Startup Grind community means, it's really about the three tenets of helping others, giving first, and making friends. So, pushing everybody to get to know each other is a big piece of that. So, we really encourage you to get a cup of coffee together, get to know each other, really connecting that the local ecosystem here is such a powerful way for us all to help each other move forward, get momentum, get seen, all the things. And Startup Grind is really in the business of connection, inspiration, and education for startups.
How many people here are founders? Everyone? Anyone here want to become a founder? Work for a startup? No, nobody wants to work for anyone else. Okay.
Well, and then the RA would consider themselves a small business owner or consultant coach in kind of the adjacent space. Excellent. Or mentor. No one from NextCore is here tonight, I don't think. Oh, you're a member.
Yeah.
Excellent. But we really appreciate the partnership we have with NextCore for allowing us to use this space.
I was just going to add something when you're done with it.
Go for
it. Next Thursday, they're doing startup drinks here. So if you want to come back and just network with people, mingle. So if you're not things like that.
What time is that?
I think it's 5 to 7 or 5:30 to 7:30. It's on their website.
I came on the June startup drinks is really helpful. I talked to that.
See? There we go.
Neat. So the pitch format for tonight, 10-minute pitch, 5-minute questions from the crowd. It can get a little bit flexible. Usually the questions tend to run a little bit longer than 5 minutes. Your pitch does not have to be 10 minutes, but we give you up to 10 minutes. We'll see, how, if it's just the two of you guys who would like to also pitch, that's fantastic. Yes. Anyone else? Hi, welcome.
If there's time, I might go there.
Okay.
If there's time, I can go as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so we're gonna do, you're gonna do a 10-minute pitch, because you've been preparing, we're gonna do the whole thing, and then so we'll do 5-minute pitches for everyone else who wants to pitch.
I'll do 5 1-minute pitches.
You'll do 5 1-minute pitches.
I'm just kidding. But
That would be
if you
fun.
need to pull some time, I could.
That would be fun. All right. I don't think we'll need to. I think we have a lot of.
But you're signed up for the next 5 months of.
That's right.
Is that what is included? I do 1 minute each month.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you ever want to sponsor, if anyone ever wants to sponsor, we'll always give somebody like the mic to kind of do the intro.
I'll
So.
I'll show it to my partner if you have like the media or whatever promotional thing. I'll shoot you an email.
Mm-hmm. And shout outs on social ahead of the event.
Is that like a year long or is that just like one event?
Depends what you want to buy.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't. Okay.
Since everyone is so interested in this,
Well, it's a good time to put it out there.
we'll always have a ticket on every event. If you want to sponsor the event, you can just buy like a $100 ticket. We'll call you the food and drink sponsor. You're gonna give a mic. If you want to do something longer or more serious or meaningful, we have a higher price ticket. It's a $500 ticket, and that covers you for the year. But again, if you want to do something like a program with us, then I'll give you like the full deck.
Okay.
So anyone will give you that at any point in time, and we just want to cover some of it. But yeah, if somebody if we were going to send startups to Silicon Valley, that's going to cost more than the $100. So.
So we're going to start with Masa.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to move on to our generous volunteers for pitching. And let me just
Our
wrap this up,
crowdsourced
because
pitches.
if you are not on our list yet, to stay up to date with all the events that are coming up, if you didn't, if you didn't buy a ticket, not buy a ticket, but if you didn't get a ticket for tonight, you won't be on our list to get more updates and events for Startup Grind Rochester. Grab that link, and there's a form. There's a form to pitch in future pitch-ins, to request mentorship, to ask for information, all kinds of stuff. So fill in that form, get on the list, so that we see you at our future events.
So we will, instead of a pitch, we'll make it a discussion, and I would like you to know what we're doing, and if that's something interests you, come talk to me after. So Sentient is what I'm trying to make it is the human interface for agentic era. And what does that mean? Imagine in 1984, Steve Jobs came up with the Macintosh computer. That was one of the first computers with something called a graphical user interface. Computers existed before, but it used to be terminal, and computers were specifically built for experts in IBMs or big companies who are specialized, who learned that syntaxes, command line arguments, and it was only for the people who would know those special wizardry of programming languages in order to use a computer. But what graphical user interface did is it turned this complex idea of a computer into something that anybody who can move a mouse, point and click, can use. And that started the computing revolution that we're living today. When you make a technology easy to use, a tremendous number of people use it, and the entire society uplifts because of that. And the same thing happened with the internet. Internet existed before the computer browsers. But when the browsers came in, that's where internet became available to everybody. That's where anybody could just hop in and open a browser and then go to a website and then access the benefit of internet communicating over the across the world. So the internet revolution that we're living today, that was also because of a new innovation in the interface of how you use the technology. Today, we're going through another revolutionary technological phase, which is computer agents. AIs are now becoming super capable. It can do things. It can edit your docs. It can write you things. It can write, program, and execute that, and then give you actual job. It can work on difficult problems for hours and hours and give back you the results. So we're entering this agentic era, but still it is guardrailed by the interface. Like one of the biggest agentic program we have right now is Claude Code. It is a CLI program. It's still the exact same way how computers used to be in the 80s. It's still built for developers. It's not built for everybody. And that's where Sentient comes in. We're trying to build a new, radically different, however, extremely familiar interface for AI agent. So you would ask, what is that interface? Humans have evolved for millions of years to communicate with each other. Our entire language, our linguistic system, facial body expression, all of that evolved in order to communicate with each other. So we asked a question, what if we can tap into that and turn this complex idea of agent into exactly the way that you interact with another person? So what Sentient is trying to build, it's an AI agent that looks like a person, that talks like a person, and that works like a person. And not only that, it learns like a person. So in the beginning, what about looks? So we have been working on this for past several years, even long before agents were a thing. So we have built this AI virtual avatar system where you can customize and build an AI avatar and then make it do for simpler conversation. Now we're turning that into a complete interactive people that lives inside a computer and then does whatever you ask it to do. So there are few bottlenecks. I've been playing around with the AI agents. Like anybody heard about OpenClaw?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a new agent that came in, and people are buying Mac Minis like crazy and putting an agent there, and it's like an AI agent that lives there, and you ask it to do anything, and it does different type of things. And you can connect with your email, you can connect with your Google Calendar, you can connect with your Telegram and APIs and all sorts of things, and you can ask it to do something, and it does it for you. So practically almost any information type of work that you can do in a computer, that agent can do. It can also operate your own computer with mouse and keyboard, and if you ask it to do something, it will operate the keyboard and mouse to does that on your computer. So there's a major problem with that, and that is the trust and the interactivity, the interaction, and also privacy, and how do you teach it? And those are some of the key components that we're trying to solve. And our solution is bold but also old, which is treat it like a person. So Mac Minis are one of the major problem with these type of system is if you run it in your computer, it's gonna mess something up. It's gonna might delete the entire operating system or leak your credit card, which actually happens. Some of those things actually happen. But what we're doing is putting it in an isolated virtual machines, and this agent has its own email, own chat box, own Slack, everything separately, just like the same way if you hire a new person in your company, they have everything already built in. So you don't have to think about it. You just purchase one of the agent and plug in with your organization or your existing system. And after that, initially it's not as smart, but gradually it gets smarter. And the more you interact with it, it learns from you. It adjusts with your workflow, and it becomes the best possible AI for you. So even if OpenAI Anthropic has their own benchmark and they're fighting over on their benchmarks and all this kind of like ASI, artificial superintelligence and everything, but you don't have to think about that. This agent is going to be specialized specifically for your job or anything that you ask it to do. How do you build a trust? It's the same way you do with a person. Initially, you don't give it enough security. You gradually talk to it, and then look its capability, identify what it's good at, and then teach it. How do you teach it? How do you teach a colleague that if you have a new hire and you want them to teach how to do a certain task, how do you do it? Like, hey, let's hop on a video call, and then you show the interface and with the mouse pointer and walk them through how you do these things. And that's exactly how you would teach one of these agents. And imagine you already taught one of these, you onboarded one of these agents and you have been training it for several months, and it got super familiar with your workflow. It knows about how you do things, your preferences, and now you want to onboard a new person. So you can just ask the AI to teach the new person, and it's gonna open up its own computer, and the same way that you do a video screen share, it's gonna screen share and then show it to you or the new person that you're training. So most AI agents right now, they are treating an AI agents as an extension of yourself, and we are getting rid of this idea, and we are treating it as an isolated system that's separate from you, that has limited access, and it lives in a separate place. So anything that happens in there, it doesn't affect your rest of the system. The worst thing it can do is like send a mean email to somebody you know. So that's one of the idea. So I've been playing around with the agentic system. We have the virtual avatar built. Lot more work to do. My PhD was in how to make AI more human-like. So there is a huge amount of things that I've thought about and found out that nobody else have done, and that we're gradually building into the system. And I've been playing with this agentic system for a while, and it's quite there, but not there yet. Some work left. So last thing, this is something that keeps me up at night, is once we build this, like it's going to have a tremendously bad effect in society, because job loss. I've been working on machine learning and artificial intelligence since 2018, and we used to be very excited about it, but now it's scary because the unkind and cruel manner it's being deployed, and it's become an excuse for like not caring from large companies, and we would like to prevent that. How, we're still figuring it out, but hope to hear from you if you have any ideas. Thanks.
Awesome. Questions?
Do you have any patents?
Patents, it's difficult to do in software, and also we have like few niche ideas that we implemented, but if we like patented it, it's gonna be much easier to copy, and once somebody copies it, it's much harder to defend, so we decided not to go the patent route. Yes.
This training, so your AI agent is in an airtight system that is not connected to the internet, or only selectively connected to your own machines that you choose?
It is connected to the internet. It can browse internet, it can open a browser, it can log into a website. And I actually did, like, making the AI agent has some complicated issues, and I had to do a bunch of work. So instead I said, I made an AI agent, and I asked it like, hey, do it yourself. So it is quite capable of doing those
and
things.
the training, where is the training running? Is it on the local machine, or is it a cloud-based running?
It has to be cloud-based, because otherwise it's going to be dependent. The client would have to have a GPU computer, but we're imagining the training will happen in our computers, and we will keep it safe. And there are two parts of training. One is training the neural network, changing the weight. Another part is just making a really nice documentation that is compact and well indexed. So making that index, so if your AI agent wants to do something, it immediately checks the index and then fetches the information and does the right thing. So that's also a different form of training. It's inference time training. That can happen in the local computer as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry I'm late if you don't address this, but who is your target perfect customer?
I think the first type of customer I'm aiming for is small businesses and entrepreneurs and industries somewhere. And I'm actually currently looking to do pilots, some initial pilot, maybe even free, that we can deploy within existing companies, and then see it how do they work, and gradually improve the system. Yes.
How does your interface tie into existing companies? Like, if I had a company, in what scenario and how would I like tie existing systems into using that interface?
Yeah, so if you're an existing company, nothing in your system changes, and you don't need any technical expertise to do this. So you just purchase one of the AI like purchase an individual AI agent, and it comes with an email. If you ask it to do anything, just CC in that email. Directly send that email to it. You can connect it with just same way you would add a person to your Slack. Just add this new agent to your Slack channel. Now, next time you ask it to just tag it and ask it something, it will do. You can even ask it to do something later. You can schedule a task, and you can ask it like, hey, every day do this thing, or this is, you can gradually, this is not solved yet, but gradually I'm trying to build it in a way that you can just give a high level vision. The same way you do it with a human employee. You don't tell it to specifically do every single thing every single day. You just give it like, hey, this is your job, try find it out, and the agent will continue to keep running and gradually get better at it. Yes.
So if I'm a company CEO and I say, oh, I'd love to have one of these things, who trains it? I mean, how do I transfer my knowledge to your avatar?
So first, I'm going to give you a particular avatar. I'm going to isolate that system specifically for you. It's going to have its own memory. It's going to have its own memory of you. It's gonna maybe have your profile for every single person who in your company who interacts with it, a separate profile. And initially it comes blank, it comes empty. It comes with some particular skills like how to operate an email, how to browse a web, how to like look at your screen and interpret that. And then you teach it by making it do things, or you give it a goal and then it tries to do things, and every time it succeeds, it stores that knowledge, and next time it's much more efficient. So the more you use it, the better it gets.
So that doesn't sound like very complicated tasks up front then, because that sounds like a complicated training.
Yeah, so in terms of training, you don't have to do anything. You just do it the same way you would do it with a human employee. Just if you wanted to know anything, CC it in an email. Next time it'll know that. If you want to give it a task, send a message, email, or even open a video call or a voice call. Or if you want a voice note, you're busy in a bus station, just send a voice note. It's gonna remember that.
What cloud provider are you using currently?
I'm currently using Azure, but I'm trying to move into AWS because I got a grant from NextCore, so that's gonna be, I'm paying out of my pocket right now, but that'll be cheaper.
Yeah, no, that's a good move. And let's say a company wanted it like on-prem, could you install it like on a server? Like let's say we want to install here, and just have it available only to employees on this premise.
I'm actually like thinking about how to do that properly right now. So there's two parts to it, three parts actually. One is the API calls. We're still using OpenAI. So we could do our own model, and if some clients requires it, we could deploy that. The LLM, we could do that even in their on-prem. But the avatar piece, that has to run in our infrastructure. So if you want to do a video call, a lot of things can be done without a video call. But if you want to do a video call, that one we can do, but we would like not to give out, so in case of IP leak. Yes.
One more question for me. So I know that a lot of organizations are struggling with the cost of having AI, right? The tokens cost a fortune. So what's the commercialization strategy that this doesn't take a small company and run their bank balance to zero?
that is a very important issue right now, and I downloaded the OpenClaw and the Hermes agent. I'm using Hermes agent right now. So I looked into their source code, and the way that I look into it is it's built by engineers. They didn't I come from a machine learning background, so there's a lot of optimization that I know can be done. Like something can be done with a maybe very tiny model, or maybe a classifier, a tree-based classifier, or a BERT. That people are using GPT-5 for that. So it is extremely inefficient, and it's by design have to be, because most people have built those agents to be general purpose, that you have one agent that does everything, right? But instead, what we're planning to do is make it specialized for you, and your agent doesn't have to be a math expert. Your agent doesn't have to be expert in neuroscience. It just does your thing. So those things we're gonna a significant amount of that we can have even an on-prem very small model like Google's Gemma 4 that even runs on an iPhone. So we can have a small model do majority of the task, and only for the complicated task it sends it to the cloud. And also every time it sends it to the cloud, it gathers the data and trains your small model. So next time it will be handled by the local one.
Just sort of one piece of feedback. When you run a company, any resource is a fixed. You try to make that a fixed cost, right? So if you want to have wide distribution and you want small businesses to pick it up, one of the things you're going to have to be able to say is, this is not going to cost you more than the human you put in place. Because in the end, humans, what they cost at the beginning in January 1st, and they generally cost roughly the same on December 31st. And you want to make sure that your virtual employee is forecastable in the same way.
I can guarantee it's going to be much cheaper.
Okay, yeah, you could. It's great if it's cheaper, right? But if it's all of a sudden twice the cost, right?
Yeah, right.
It's a challenge.
Excellent.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Jess. I am the founder of Wanderlust PTs. It is a lead generation business for travel healthcare staffing industry. And I generate leads specifically in the travel physical therapy space. I was a travel PT myself for 10 years. And then I started educating other people how to be travel PTs. And then I started passing them to recruiting companies who were staffing these travel PTs. So I've been doing that since about 2016. And since then, I have generated about $15 million in sales or contracts for the recruiting agencies that I referred to. And that's all basically using an Excel spreadsheet, a Google Sheet. Nothing too complicated. I use Go High Level Google Sheets, and I've been running a pretty small-ish business, but a business, and I'm ready to scale now. So this is the unscaled, or that was the unscaled version, and I thought, where is there opportunity to scale? This is a $20 billion+ industry, the travel healthcare industry. However, for travel PTs, the market is a little bit broken on both sides when it comes to, I want to find myself a travel job, let me hit up the job boards. The job boards are horrible for travel PTs. Why? Because they're built for travel nurses. The travel nurse market is 10x or so, maybe more, what the travel PT market is, physical therapists that is. And physical therapists like to be specific to the settings that they work in. So I only want to work in home health and outpatient physical therapy. I don't want to work in a hospital. I don't want to work in a school. And I want to search for jobs specific to what I'm looking for. In addition, historically, physical therapists needed to be licensed in each state that they were traveling to. So I would have to go through and do paperwork and documentation and wait weeks, if not months, for each state that I want to travel to. Some travel therapists will take 2 or 3 different state contracts at one point, or different state licenses. At one point, I had up to 8 state licenses that I had to do all individually. The game has changed, coming soon. And also, as a travel PT, I'll sign up for job boards to try to get notified about jobs, but instead I'll get spammed from a bunch of companies that I did not sign up for, in text, in email, in phone calls, and it's just a bunch of spam happening for jobs in Alaska, in school settings, and like, I didn't ask for that, and it's not a great user experience as a physical therapist. The game has changed now for travel PT. We now have reciprocity with some licenses in some states. Up to 37 states, the compact license has been introduced for physical therapists, which has changed the game a bit. And also, the user experience for physical therapists isn't great. I go onto a job board and I now have to look through screens of jobs just to give you a quick overview of, oh, this job board made me sign in first in order for me to view the jobs. This is the user experience on alliedtravelcareers.com. I have to scroll through everything. This one here says general. I can't even search setting for myself as a travel therapist. I only want to work in home health. And first off, there's no general setting. It's not built for physical therapists. So those are the main players in this space right now. And I basically, plugged through the boards and I was like, this is just bad. It's not good for the users. On the agency side, so these agencies are paying to push their jobs to leads like myself that aren't even interested in their jobs. They're paying to send to cold leads. They're paying to send to people who don't want their jobs at all. And in addition, when they post on a job, 5 different companies might post the same job with competing pay packages. So they're all forward-facing and competing against each other, and that pushes some companies to post fake pay packages, which isn't a good user experience anywhere. Recruiters are finding and messaging jobs manually, so they have to find the job for the therapist who's only interested in these states and these settings. They have to do it all manually. It's a manual search for a lot of these recruiting companies, and a lot of job orders that they get sent from different facilities will die in their inbox. One company will send, hey, we just got an opening here, and there's nobody on the back end sitting and looking, or agents, sitting and looking through their emails and uploading them into their technology that they're using to post the jobs. So it's broken. It's not a very good system. Audited the main players, and I came up with what I wanted to create for myself, or what I would like to see as a travel therapist. In addition, the compact license unlocked 37 states all at once for people who now have the compact privilege. So I want to be able to search all 37 states all at once, what jobs are available for my start dates. This doesn't exist in the market, so we built it. TravelPTJobs.com searches compact privileges. It matches notifications, so you can set your notifications specific to setting and state that you might be interested in. You can search a map view. You can search for team placements if you're traveling with somebody else. 5 minutes. Okay, sorry. And we're gonna make money, and that's it. Nice, thanks. Yay, sorry. Okay. And we're live. Nice.
Excellent. Okay, so like a hard 5 minutes on questions. Go for it.
So I'm just sort of curious, so how is it that you make,
She has a translator on her phone. Sign
well,
Can you just repeat the question?
Oh, yes.
okay,
I'll repeat the question.
what do I need to do?
I'll
Ask the
repeat
question.
the question when he asks it.
Right, so you said that you had 15 million in placements, right? Is that is that your revenue, and how does this new software, so you're a $15 million company since 2016, that's aggregate?
I've generated $15 million in net for the agencies that I've referred my leads to.
I see.
So that's not my company's revenue. I wish it was, but it's the companies that I have referred to. So that's the value that I provide the companies. So the question was, the 15 million. How does that tie into what I do versus the agencies?
And so now you're going to take the agency money with this software. Is that the goal?
The goal is to charge the agencies on the front end. Right now I am a performance-based, so I'll send the leads for free. I front the money and the cash on the front for free to generate leads for these agencies, and then my cash conversion cycle is 365 days before I get paid for the companies to place these people, and I'm not in control of placing them. And so I needed to flip the model a little bit, and so now I'll charge on the front end for posting on the job boards, and as a result, I'm also referring people who are closer to finding jobs. In the past, I would refer students and new grads, and now these people are actively looking for jobs. So it's a better match for the companies. Yes.
Do you plan on like working directly with the people who will have the contracts and cutting out the agencies eventually?
I have no, so the question was, do I plan on becoming a staffing agency myself? I have no desire to do that right now. I think that is, I'd rather be the middleman of the middleman as of right now. I just like to automate a lot of things, and that I think would entail hiring a lot of people, training a lot of people, and a lot of things that I don't know about, which I could get some, but yeah, no, not interested in doing that yet. Yes.
So what's your total addressable market? What do you think your automated system could earn for an investor?
Earn for an investor.
I'm just wondering, like, what's your upside? Where?
Yeah, not looking for investors currently, but the first the first round or the first year or so, I plan to do over 300K just in the job board alone. And yeah, that's just with 5 founders off the ground. Right now, the business is about that, so hope to double it probably.
There's a very famous guy, most people would say is pretty positively famous, maybe not. He said, your margin is my opportunity. You know who he is?
No.
Bezos.
So today you may not be ready for the staffing agency. They have margin, it's your opportunity in the future.
You're saying for investors?
No, for you. In the future, if the agencies that you help
Yes.
are making a lot more money than you are,
Yes.
then their margin is your opportunity.
Yes, for
So
sure.
Never say never, right?
Yes, exactly. And they leave a lot on the table that I'm
Exactly.
hoping to pick up in this way. So, yes, thank you. Very good.
Excellent.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
You should come back again too.
Yes,
I'd be
yeah,
happy to
we're
be back
inviting you back.
with all of my slides and
Yes,
materials.
exactly. This is just a practice run.
I wish I had my slides for all of you. Interestingly, what I do have is this. This is a microcontroller. This is the first piece of electronics that any hardware engineer in the world will touch. Right. Bring it forward so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Small little computer. You could even pass it around.
Yeah.
It is an Arduino. In the world of hardware engineering, there's two parts. You have to write code and you have your hardware, right? The electronics, the microcontroller, your lights, motors, resistors, wires, what sits on your desk, and you have your code that goes on that right there. Currently, every software that you'd use, right? AI currently is very good at writing code, right? And it's getting better every day. OpenAI, Claude, all of them. But if you were to ask Claude, hey, help me with what's on my desk right in front of me, my hardware, that right there, it's gonna say, oh, I don't know. I can't see it, it's on your desk. And that goes for any AI you'll see in the world. So we said, how can we bring AI to this world, multi-billion-dollar industry of hardware engineering? Currently, all tools that exist, they either do the code with AI, not a single one to do your hardware. Not one, how could it? It's on your table in front of you. Sorry. Oh, okay. So, everything that exists, it doesn't unify. There's your code, your hardware. We wanted a platform that combines not only those, but is able to bring AI to the hardware that you're building. So we created Do We Know? This platform, we designed the platform so you have your code right in front of you, you have your hardware, and you have your AI right in front of you. So what this can do, you have a project that you're already working on, have a question about it, ask the AI agent. You want to redesign the hardware about it, ask the agent. You want to redesign what it does, the code, ask the agent. And what's interesting about this is that there's nothing else in this entire industry that is able to do this. Understand your hardware, understand your code. My co-founder came from a low-income immigrant family. To get into computer engineering, he had to fight with everything he had to get into this field. It's complicated. There's an arguable barrier to entry with the code, the hardware, the physical materials. I think it's right. Oh. He came to me with this idea to really be able to bring this world of computer engineering, to bring this world to everybody, no matter how much, all in one platform, one single cost, that we're not paying for a platform for your hardware, one for your code, and none of which can incorporate AI into your project. So what we did is we mixed it all into one. Every problem that I just mentioned, no AI in your projects, no AI assistance. Your code's one place, hardware is nowhere, except on your table. All of a sudden, one place understands every single thing you're working on. I wish I had images, I wish I had photos. I wish I had anything I could show you at all. But that's our dream. Take this platform, push it as wide as we can to engineers across the world. And I think this could change a lot of engineers' lives.
All right.
Very cool. I don't think you needed the desk.
I wish I don't know. I'm used to working with a structure here.
You did fantastic with no structure.
Yes.
No.
So I'm wondering what this looks like when somebody's using it inside of, I'm guessing it's
It's a web-based platform, web-based software.
Give us a
as an
demo.
app. Do you take videos of the hardware and import them so that the AI can consume it? I'm just wondering.
It's a great
how
question.
that works.
So that's a branch of his question was, how do you incorporate your circuits that you have in front of you into our software to then get the AI assistants and have them all in one place to work and iterate? So that's a branch on what we're working with. That's more of a past MVP for us, is the picture or video of your project upload. Of course, there's a core annoyance with that, which is if you have a board with wires everywhere, no amount of technology is going to see what's within that mess of wires and components. And when you come with little chips and stuff, you can't really differentiate with them just by looking from a distance. So currently, what we built, I actually designed myself in the software, in the hardware aspect. Right, there's the AI, the code, the hardware. I designed the system where it basically takes, I wish I had pictures, but what you have is your components in front of you, and you put them all into what's called a breadboard. It connects all the components together. We have a digital version of that where you can drag drop components right onto it. Fits right in the holes, wires from here to here. Very concrete system. Specifically, and what differs from some of the other products that are out there currently, the softwares, is that you can replicate it exactly as you have it in front of you. No abstraction, right? You could take what you have with your components and your breadboard and create an electrical diagram, but that's nothing like what you just built in front of you. So what we have is a mirror image of exactly what's in front of you on our program, then it's code right next to it, and then of course the AI, which previously, even if there was an AI that could build hardware, which there isn't, now the AI can see your code and your hardware and the friction between them. Currently, there is nothing bridging that gap. You have code, which AI can help you with all you want, but how can it write code for hardware that it can't see? And that's where I would say probably 80% of the issues arise for engineers. We interviewed hundreds of student engineers, teachers, faculty, staff from many colleges, many high schools, and compiled all of their issues, all of their thoughts on the matter, where their friction was, and we said, how can we just kind of, what's one interface we can make that'll bridge the gap between all of it? And we did.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Who's your target customer then?
That's great. So
Buy this.
our target as an initial, our beachhead customer, or our ideal, is going to be students and hobbyists, right? The individual user. And of course, this can apply to, say, I know many people on college engineering teams, clubs, etc., who would use this in their projects. However, millions and millions and millions of individual hobbyists and engineering students can benefit from this, because there's two ways to use it, right? There's assistance on something you already have, and then there's using it to generate something new, right? You can come to it with your project, replicate what you have, and say, hey, this isn't working, or I'm getting this error, can you help me figure out what's going on? And it can see everything. Or you come to it with a blank slate and you say, hey, I want to build a piece of hardware that does blank, and it'll design your code, hardware. And what's interesting is that down the line, our hope is that in electrical manufacturing, when a company is designing an electrical piece of equipment, they'll create a PCB, right? Something like this, where the electronics are baked right into it. But to design that, they'll use these components, the ones that you learn with, the ones that can specifically be moved around easily. So industry professionals use these components as well to iterate design before they ship out and say, make thousands, hundreds of thousands of boards just like this one. So not only is it beginners who are using these components, it's industry professionals as well. And so if you need to get from zero to prototype, if you can just say, hey, I want to build blank, boom, code, hardware, designed. The iteration process goes from hours, days, weeks to potentially an afternoon, couple of days, depending on what it is you're building. And our hope was just to bring AI to being able to workshop on your electrical projects. Yes.
I remember talking to you about this at the drinks. I think it's great. I run sort of electrical businesses, and the challenges of sort of keeping your hardware, current and being able to iterate and add in sort of new hardware that might shave off some money, might shave off some performance, issues. Seems like the car companies would be great for this, since they seem to be stuck on old chips and can't seem to move the needle on their technology.
Yeah, any industry or project or company that revolves around even not, but especially embedded electronics, in theory could benefit from this hugely on your design iteration. On a larger scale, if we're able to expand this to incorporate more and more components and equipment, then theoretically there would be no limit to what hardware it can help design.
Are you familiar with Walkly?
I am.
How different is this to Walkly?
So Walkly specifically, I'm trying to remember Walkly specifically because we've compared many competitors. All competitors are missing one of three things at least. Okay. They don't have AI, they don't support hardware design because code is easy, right? Anyone can do code. You can do code in ChatGPT. Right. It's on itself. Yeah. But what exists for AI, there's no. To my current understanding, there's no AI in Walkly, correct?
I don't think there is.
I don't believe there is. And the one primary competitor, this company called Blueprint, they've raised millions of dollars in funding. It's awful. It's so bad. Their vision is similar, except they include 3D, like so you can print out physical hardware as well to go along with their project. Okay. It doesn't work at all. We've used it, the experience is terrible. So our goal with this project is to be able to support engineers in the most smooth and clean user experience possible.
Okay. So it's basically choosing the hardware. You're telling it what it is that you want to do, and it picks the hardware.
So it's kind of a sandbox. It's a development tool, right, for people who are developing. So you can do whatever with it you please. What we did is everyone time's up.
That's okay. Wrap up that question.
You can finish your thought.
I'll try and keep it quick. So you have the AI and you have your workspace where you can write your code, and you have the hardware where you can build your hardware as you have it or iterate on it within the website, within the browser. Okay. So from there, the AI you could work on it on your own. You don't even have to use the AI. You can write your code, run your hardware. We're even working on simulation so you can test it as well in the browser. Right. But with the AI, you can then either ask questions about what already exists in the project, what you built, what you provided to it, or you can say, I would like you to build this, or I would like you to take what I have and add this, or change this, simply because we've taken the AI and given it a full understanding and full access to your entire project, the code, the hardware. So not only can it read it and understand it, but it can go in reverse as well and interact with your code and interact with your hardware, designing, adding components, removing them, redesigning it.
Okay. Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So in 2025, per the latest study, 4 million new 4 million new books were registered with ISBN. It's a numbering system. You don't need to know if you don't need to worry about writing books, but it's a numbering system for every unique book. 3.5 million books were generated out of that 4 by self-published authors. They're doing well, they're writing a lot. The year before, 2.5 million self-published novels were generated, or books were generated. Novels, fiction's different. So you do the math, you have 1 million new books entered marketplace in 1 year. Automated, AI generated. If you are an author who's trying to get discovered, now you have to compete with junk at a scale that we have never seen before. Authors who have a very healthy backlist. It's a technical term for somebody who has a big book of business. They've published quite a few books, and they really depend on their books to get discovered. If you read one book and you like it, the odds that you will give their other books a chance, pretty high. So they rely on that discovery. Serials, so a series works really well, because if you read one, you want to complete the whole series, most likely.
but you don't have to. So you rely on the backlist a lot. But if you don't get discovered, then your backlist doesn't get discovered. So all you really you hope for is that you can get discovered. Give me one book. Let somebody know that I exist so that they will buy my book, hopefully. Okay, here's another number. On Amazon, if you read books on Kindle, if you're part of the Kindle Unlimited, how many of you do that? Okay, so you know how authors get paid when you read their books?
By page.
By page. You know how much they get paid per page?
Penny?
4/10 of a cent.
Wow.
So you can't get discovered, and if you get discovered, you get paid 4/10 of a cent per page. So what's an author going to do? My wife's an author. She's published 10 novels. So I know the plight very well. Over the years, I've supported her a lot. And the problem is that for authors, everything is designed to sell books. Nothing is designed to promote authors. Just doesn't exist. Okay, because there is no economics around get to know the authors. Everybody is interested in selling books because that's where the margin is. Publishing companies, they don't know whether your book's going to do well or not. So they are just hoping that if they can tap into good authors, then they will sell more and hopefully their businesses will do well. And publishing businesses don't have a very high margin. So they are always struggling to keep the cost low. So everybody's making money on books except authors, which is kind of bad. I mean, if you think about it, as a civilization, we started telling stories by putting stuff on cave walls. Storytelling is not going away. That's how our civilization became what it is. And you may not know this, but without fictions and novels, we would not know what empathy is. Without empathy, we would not have a society, a civilization, an ability to relate to each other. So there is a lot that goes into stories. We just don't pay too much attention to it because if the story is good, who cares who wrote it? So my feature that I'm presenting to you today is a very simple idea. It focuses on experienced authors, which means you have been writing few years, you've kind of mastered your art. You understand what writing does to a human brain. Because human brains are designed to run simulations. So if you have mastered your art of writing, you're running simulations in human brains. And if you are really good at it, that's when your books sell like crazy, because people love it, okay? So you're hopefully there. So we don't want a lot of new people who are still learning what to do, because it gunks up the system. We don't want AI books. And if you are a really top-notch author, you don't need my help. You're doing well. You're making a lot of money. You have your own team. This is not a problem for you. But what about those people who are on the flat curve, as they say? It's a long tail economics. And it takes a lot, 4/10 of a cent per page. And if you happen to have an emergency or take care of your dog or take care of your children and you put the book down and you never get to it, in the old world, you would have paid for the full book. In the new world, all you paid is 4/10 of a cent. It's an awful problem. So what we are trying to do.
Yeah, I think it's just going to sleep, but.
Okay, no problem. So what we're trying to do here is basically we are collecting all these experienced authors and their works on a highly simple navigational web page, okay? Very, very easy to find. What you will see here are a few new features that typically you won't find elsewhere. Focuses on authors, not as much on the book. So you don't see photos of books, not important. Because then people get distracted. Oh, I like this cover. I don't like that cover. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to look at the authors, what have they written, what kind of books are available, okay? You see 3 buttons here. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Bookshop. Bookshop is how you can buy retail, okay? So if you are interested in supporting your community and you want to know how can I go to find a book in Bookshop, you don't need to go anywhere else. Just click here, it'll take you to that. Now all this data, right now I have about 65,000 records. My idea is to get this to 100,000 searchable record at any given time, but the database will be significantly bigger. It just takes, I have to read the internet to find this. This data doesn't exist anywhere else. And if somebody has it, like Amazon has it, they will not give it to you. Because they want you to stay on Amazon. Barnes & Noble probably has it, their own data. They won't give it to you. So we have to go online, read the entire internet, literally. It's a lot of agentic work. We basically read like you do Google search and find the data you need and you organize it and you turn it into a neat little database. What you don't see here, even more important, is that there is another interface just for the bots. And the bots will find a highly enriched metadata for the books and know what the book is about, who wrote it, what additional information is out there, what other books are out there that are like this. So when you are on any chat bot anywhere else in the world, and you are thinking and talking about this data, whether you are on this page or not, is not important. This page's data, which is what we are after, will be surfaced on all those chat bots. So we can find users even when they are not on the app. So it was designed for simplicity as far as humans are concerned. It was designed to cut out complexity as far as bots are concerned. And that's what we want to feed, because regardless of where the users are, when the users are, we want them to know that these authors exist. And if the authors exist, then our job of getting them discovered is done.
Awesome.
That's my presentation.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you were reading through all the websites and collecting data. Are you doing manually, or do you have any agents doing that?
Agents. I had to build my own data pipeline agent to do that. I can't read internet manually, no. Sorry, the question was, did I read it manually, or did I use a system for it? Yes, sir.
Can you go a little bit like what is your revenue model?
So my revenue model is that initially I want to get people here. I want this to be the property for those authors. It's not for everybody, it's for fiction authors. And then this needs to become the source to discover that kind of authors, okay? Serious career authors who need help. But if you want your books to be listed here, you need to be a paid member, a subscriber of the Studio app that I have, which I will show you. So the idea is that authors need to write more. They don't need another tool, they don't need another service, you don't need to change their world for them. Just make it easy. Let them do what they need to do, which is allow them to write as much as they can, because that's where you do a lot of writing. And so what we offer is a set of tools, a platform, not even a new software. You can use your existing tools, but it allows you to work with your writing community. It allows you to share files. It allows you to even play with AI if you want to. This world is very divided right now. Half the authors don't want anything to do with AI. Why would they? Right? Anthropic got charged $1.5 billion because they used lots and lots of novels to train the model. So a lot of authors don't want anything to do with it. On the other side, we saw the problem, and a million new titles just got put in the marketplace. You don't read something that you don't really know who the author is. Like, you don't know their style. And if an algorithm wrote it, the odds that it is designed for you to simulate in your head, not very good. They are not good at doing that, okay? And so we want that to become a simple listing fee and be a member of this subscribing app. And it's pretty straightforward. Even design-wise, what we built is, if you can use text messaging, which everybody can, you can text your own ideas to your own platform. You know how to use email. You have files, you know how to share files. So everything is built around using your own skills and your own files to work with the platform. Yes, sir.
Why are you limiting only to fiction?
Good question. So fiction is where a lot of career authors depend on building a large backlist, okay? A lot of non-fiction, technicals, memoirs, stuff like that. If you're gonna write a memoir, you're not gonna write 7 memoirs. So the needs of the non-fiction are different than the fiction. The margin for non-fiction is higher, actually. So if you're writing a technical novel, you're writing anything that is just generally a self-help, whatever, the margin is much higher. The economics tend to work better in your favor. If you're a fiction writer and you try to run an ad, the amount of money you will spend to get somebody to click is so much more that by the time they end up buying book, you will end up losing money. So the pay-per-click or doesn't work anymore.
One more
Cost per click.
quick question. If anyone has a question, one more quick one.
Yeah. You can go. So this is working now for
Yes, sir.
writers. So it's a working, revenue producing model.
Yes, sir.
Business.
Yes. It's a $1 billion TAM space, so it's sizable.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I didn't see who raised first. Okay. I will repeat the question for you. I will repeat the question for you.
How are you, so if I understood it correctly, you're using RAM as a GPU, how are you parallelizing that?
So the question is technical. So because the processing is inside the RAM, which is the memory, how am I parallelizing the compute threads? So the answer is because we are bringing processing elements all the way inside DRAM banks. So thinking about the memory organization, DRAM banks have rows, about 8 kilobits in a single row. So our processing elements will live just outside the read bank, the read buffers. So as soon as there is 8 kilobits read, immediately they go into these processing engines. And the processing engines are rather simple. They're just LUT based engines, so they occupy very little area. So we parallelize basically the number of threads we can parallelize by inside a bank is basically how big our LUTs are versus the width of that pad, which is a bank. So typically 32x, 64x number of threads in one bank.
Okay. Do you have any papers I can read?
We have papers, about 30 papers and 1 US patent granted. And the funny story, so the next question was if we have literature. So we have about 30, because this is a spin-off of my research lab. So this project has been ongoing for about since 2018-19. So we have about 30-40 papers, and 2 of my PhD students graduated on this. And we have 1 US patent that we now have exclusive non-commercial license from the university to do this. Yeah, so we call it PPIM, Programmable Processing in Memory. I can talk to you and show you where to find it.
Yeah, I was wondering because program counter is always 1. It reads.
So the memory controller design is a separate beast. So that is another part, and the programming stack itself, because we will have to compete with very well-established programming models like CUDA. So we have to make it very user developer friendly. The hardware is where I live. I understand hardware. I do not understand software much. But that stack has to be really developer friendly. Otherwise, it will die a stillborn death, basically. Yeah. Did you? Yes.
Yeah. So a couple questions. The first is I saw a lot of comparisons on how it compares to the GPUs, and how about tensor processing units?
Yeah, so these are better than tensor processing units for the same paradigm reason, because they all need data to come out of memory into the processing units, and they're very customized to do those vector and tensor computations. So they're good. They can be better than general purpose GPUs because they are more streamlined to do that specific task, but still they do not solve the data movement problem.
And second question, are you working at all with the high corridor in Rochester with Micron coming in?
No.
Why not?
Oh, there's a story there.
Well,
Spill the tea.
they're a DRAM company. I think they're very tight-lipped. I think they have product lines that are similar, competitive. So they're very tight-lipped on this technology. Other companies that are competitive to us are SK Hynix out of Korea, Samsung. So everybody has sniffed the benefit of this paradigm. It's there was a company that actually already came to market well before us, and I come, in my research capacity out of my lab, we collaborated, benchmarked their hardware for some applications. But they got bought by. They were born out of France. They were in France, and last year they got bought by Qualcomm. You You had a question in the green.
Yeah, I was wondering how you plan to do the manufacturing for these chips.
The question is about manufacturing has to be outsourced to a third-party foundry.
Okay.
Like TSMC, Global Foundries, something.
Okay, so it could be somewhere outside of Rochester area. Somewhere
Yeah, and I don't want to get into foundry because the barrier to entry is $40 billion, and who wants to manage a fab?
Yeah, with the size of Micron, I figured as much.
But yeah, so Micron could be a good target for the fab, but we'll see. Yeah. Great question. Yes.
Is this similar to Apple's unified memory?
The question is this similar to Apple's unified memory? A unified memory is, no, because unified memory is a system on chip concept, and unified memory or embedded RAM has existed in system on chip space for a long time. It's not really the same paradigm, which is they still need to read data out of the memory. It's just they are co-located on the same die, which helps a bit, but architecturally it's the same as traditional von Neumann computers, so they don't really get the benefit as much as you would want.
So, part two, as a user, eventual benefit to a user, what would that look like?
So, through our customer discovery on the smartphone segment, they're always looking for more compute, but they are severely restricted by thermal constraints. The temperature of your phone box cannot be more than what your skin can tolerate, right? So they're limited. They have to throttle processing down no matter what you want to do when the temperature trends somewhere. So they could always they have targets of how much power they need to reduce. We should overshoot that power target by a lot when we come to silicon. So that's our hope. That's why we're targeting that market. Smart wearables, smart glasses.
Nice. Thank you.
My name is Mike Brennan. One of my companies is Malexi. It's the #1 Shopify agency in Rochester because I believe we're the only one. And we help Shopify brands usually work with the marketing team with fractional development, software engineering resources where they don't have like engineering on their team. And so that's one. Two, Developer Squad. It's a company, same principle, fractional engineering services for small, medium-sized businesses. And we're actually, this is the first time publicly saying it, but we're working on a go-to-market as an Amazon AWS partner for their new resell their new product called Amazon Quick, which is essentially, we're talking about OpenClaw. It's kind of like a safe version of that you can deploy in enterprise, small business, and you can have agents and all these cool things, better than Microsoft Copilot. And your IT will sign off of it because it's AWS. You can keep your data housed and you don't have to worry about anything getting out of hand there. I also have a small side project called Sales Intercept. It is like putting a TikTok widget on like the bottom corner of your website where you can have videos load and scroll through. You put your setting an AI agent on there, I'm sure. When you commercialize it, when you buy it from Massimo over here. And I got a podcast I do is called Hucklearrows. It's entrepreneurial stories. If you're an entrepreneur or have an entrepreneurial mindset, talk to me. I record it in the studio over here. And I don't have a huge audience, probably like maybe between some networks, maybe like really, but if I'm behind this guy, probably like 2,000 people. So you're not gonna get like huge reach, but I've given everybody the clips. So if you're a founder-led company or you're looking for content creation, come over to conversation and give you all the clips ready to go that you can post on social. And that's still in its infancy. I also, just for 5 things, I am also a ordained minister in the Church of Dudism. If you don't know what Dudism is, if you've ever seen the movie The Big Lebowski, it's like this offshoot religion of the dude. And as a joke many years ago, a cousin of mine was getting married. He asked me to do the ceremony, so I did. And I've had several people ask me to do it. I'm doing another one next month. And so if everybody's looking, talk to me. I have 25% success rate so far over the national divorce average. And that's going to go up to 88, hopefully next month. So that's it.
Which one of those is the most profitable business for you?
Developer Squad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the ordained minister.
Yeah. That's like, I mean, families, it's hard to charge them much of anything. Mostly.
The first thing that you mentioned, did you say you solve problems for small businesses that use Shopify? Is that
Correct.
what you do? Okay.
Yeah. And typically it's like where there's an engineering task or some type of integration, or you need basically dev resources, engineering, but it's pretty multifaceted. We work with a lot of marketing, different partners as well too. I'm going to Toronto next week for their show.
Editions?
Dot dev. Yeah. I guess they changed it. It used to be called Editions, right? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.